the fact that I've been trying to reach some of the Africans in the corporation. They have been I've befriended some of them in the Facebook, especially those who have names like Harold, uh, Light and Sound, Q, and all the like Facebook names. At first, I will not go near them, and now it has changed. Those are the ones that I pick for. I pick on to make friends. Facebook. So I even got a group from Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire. Yeah, and I shared with them Kule Papi's the coolest dream that he shared with us last time, just to see the reaction from the that chat group of Facebook, and before I knew it, he had deleted my posts silently, and that was it. And you see how they are escaping the truth. Yeah, but then you find that in their groups, they don't say anything substantial. It's just some social things, praising your photo and how someone is dressed and all the like. See nothing substantial in their groups. When I posted Kule Papi's dream, especially as most of them are longing for experience, they ripped it off, and I'm yet to try again to paste other things. So you see, the extent to which the cooperation or the belief in the master idea has taken them hostage. So that is one experience that I had, and then another one is I think we all know that one. That one is called Eric Moso, and I stumbled on him in that same way, just befriending at random uh, on Facebook, and then we got to chatting. In fact, he wrote when I don't know what I posted there, and he reacted. So he just told me, oh, he was destitute. He was thrown out of the Razor's residence. I've been living with the Razor since 7 years old when his parents died. Razor brought him up, maybe catered for his education or something like that. And when he caught him reading a Nubook, Razor immediately kicked him out of his house. He told me that he was living in the motor park, the open, and he had not eaten for a day or two. The case was so pathetic, and at one point I even thought that maybe it was just a way to extort some bucks out of people or what. So I wanted some verification to be done by maybe somebody in Ghana. So I wrote to Frida, and since I've not seen her active for some time on Facebook, so I contacted Eva with a message. Then finally, she got to me and said she was not in Nigeria. Eva shared the message with Mariam and others. Mariam decided to help the young man. See, so that was really some eye opener to the fact that the corporation members are really afraid to an extent that just a book, the mere sight of a book, makes them to go to engage in war, but to become so irrational. So this young man took a risk, reading the Nubook right in the Reza's home. He was caught, and they had to pay the price, which was abandonment. And the way this young man was talking, the way he wrote to me, if I give you a history of the chat history, you see, one thing that really made me raise my raised eyebrows was because he seemed to be talking in a way that indicated that he must have help from the new group because he had risked to be with them, and then now he is in that kind of strait, and because of the new presentation, and then he found himself in that kind of tight corner, and so he should be helped. So, well, I just imagine it's not new to me. In fact, there are others I've been chatting with, and if I decided to share the chat history, it's not something very encouraging. It's a trend that I've noticed, and it is just this neediness that people have, and then the thinking that because you are in the new presentation and you have a problem, you just have to be taken care of because, after all, are you not with the brotherhood? It's not that we're hard-hearted, but this kind of thinking is pervasive in some quarters, and it's good that we be aware of this kind of where when we meet this kind of persons. There are so many of them, you see, that we'll encounter. Even if there's no problem, there's the understanding that being together, then we must help out in one way or the other to alleviate certain situations that we may have. And so this is an aspect, it's a behavioral trend that you'll find mostly in the African region, and it is appropriate that people should be aware of this and know how to tackle it when they encounter it. So that is the first point I have. I don't know whether somebody can comment on this kind of trendy behavior that we find.
Well, of course, Charles, it's the world today, and this is how things are. So again, we just do what we can. Yeah, I get it. We followed this too. We talked to Eric. We chatted with Eric. Ava did. And so we chatted with him while he was still there, and then supposedly when she kicked him out, I don't know how he got a book. Um, how did he all of a sudden have a book?
He reads on the computer the PDF book.
Oh, okay, okay. So um, I don't really know Charles. So situations happen, and again, there's just like here, we're doing things. We can't cover the world. We can't do everything for everybody. So uh, that's where we suggested he go to, possibly do a little traveling to meet Eboke or King or somebody, and get with the other Africans. That's what I would suggest. It's a little bit of a travel, sure, but there are ways to do things. I don't know. I had brought Kelsey out here, last year, and Kelsey did a little traveling to Tanya's and then finally out to Val's here. So, she relocated, and it's worked out fine. So sometimes these kids have to relocate, and that's all there is to it. So he's lived in that house with her. He's been around her influence for the longest time. And I would say it's time to get out too, just get away from her. So, which she did. So she had to kick him out. So it was probably time to get out a long time ago, but he didn't see it. So she finally just kicked him out. So whatever. And that's kind of how things kind of end up. But again, people getting together and doing something. Uh, I'm always for that. That's where I want to build the community, get those of us that are aware, because the rest of the world, yeah, it's not a friendly place, and it's going to get a lot worse. Again, I don't take it for granted, because it's getting worse every day. So I don't pretend. So I'd rather be around people that I know than people that I don't know, because it's going to get a lot harder. So, we still have Skype, we still have these communications, but anything can happen. Yeah. So I also saw what you wrote, Charles, which is very good.
Good.
Yeah, very, very good. Getting to the point more so about what's going on. We really have to get past all this babysitting stuff. It doesn't work at all. And it's just like what the Africans are going through, or anybody's going through. It's, the earth is the earth. You do it or you don't. And that's all there is to it. There's no waiting for manna from heaven. That's not the idea. We each have to do something. We each have to be aware and move forward. Yeah, it's not just sitting around waiting for something to happen. So I'm constantly doing things. I'm basically wore out most of the time, but still doing it. And it's been a lot of years getting here, my whole life getting here to do this. And it's been a long run for me. I'm tired, and but I won't stop. And so it's always been the hardest thing to get people going, because again, just like you're trying to communicate with people, they are very emotionally attached to their personal life. And again, we all have a personal life, but there's a bigger picture. It's always taking the risk. So you do it or you don't. And that's all there is to it. Yeah, so I see what Miriam's done with all those people there. I don't know what they're doing, but they could do a lot, but they decide what they're doing, and there can be a lot more. So you just have to keep pushing it. Facebook is a great medium. I mean, there's many mediums. Chris works other areas, etc. There's many mediums. Really doesn't matter. It all touches. It all touches the same world. Yeah, we're not trying to communicate with Mars or the moon. it's still on the same world, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, or SoundCloud or any of these things. Still the same world, still the same people. So we see what's going on in the world, and so yeah, it's just doing something. So we'll see.
Okay, thank you. You said you saw something. I wrote. I can't quite remember what it was.
It was a long, huge paragraph. I just saw it. Ava or somebody posted on. What was it, Ava? You showed it to me. It was yesterday or the day before that Charles had wrote.
Yeah, I don't know where he was writing this. It was a group or was on his page. You, I, or Arata was Vesna Makers, and he was writing something under this. Was good what Charles was writing, yes.
It was just in the last day or two, Charles. Yeah.
I remember. It should be that action must have been triggered by Judge Lopez. Yeah, he. I was very excited by the way he described the canker as a dead end, as a leading to nothing, a huge void of nothingness, and that is leading to a dead end. In fact, I was very thrilled by what he wrote, and I doubled down on that, and I I only hope that many more corporation members visit that page to to get some truth and write their wrong views. But most of them bury their heads in the sand like ostriches, and they are contented where they are. Things are really changing for them. Like in Congo, Mariam tells me that the corporation they didn't used to do anything. They were just contented with their spiritual status, and they would you will not hear about them. They were confident that they had the population, but now people have left. Everything is crumbling, and then they have multiplied their publicity, their advertisements. They now talk. They reach out to people and say so many odd things which they cannot back up. And then recently there was that yesterday they changed. They have changed Kanka from the religion of the light and sound of God. Now is the path to religious freedom, to spiritual freedom. So it's very interesting. Maybe yeah, reacting to what the new presentation has pointed out, they fall in the category of religion with all its limitations. Then they have chosen another limitation, maybe a better one which is not very obvious to people. It's now a spiritual path. It's very interesting. See, so a judge is judge that brought that up, and in fact it was very exciting, very exciting, and I see what it means to take on the corporation uh, head on. In fact, Duane used to say this, and it seems taking on the corporation is something that comes with time. At some level, we may not see it, But there are times, some a time comes when I don't know whether one has developed the stamina or what. Then you no longer care. You enter the ring and you face them squarely. And I saw the judge doing that. I said, "Wow, that was really good." And I joined in the fight. It's after all a fight, and that is it. And I'm taking on the corporation members, befriending them like mad now. I could not do them. I could not do that in the past. Anybody who showed that kind of inclination, I look for those now with the blue star against their name. Those with names like Harold, Hugh, and all that. Yes, those are very good friends for me now. Facebook. Yeah, and I see that. I see what Duane was saying. Uh, it facing the corporation is not actually doing them a favor. It's telling them the truth, the bitter truth. And I don't think it is like criticism. It is doing them a favor, and it is doing ourselves too a favor. So it comes with time. It comes with stamina. I've seen it. I've seen it surfacing in me too. And I realized that I'm doing certain things that I could not do before. So I really see Duane's point. One cannot see the whole picture at one go. It takes some time. So I thank you for being an example.